You are 61 years old and you have done everything right. Every year you tell payroll to take out the maximum for your 401k. You believe you are already at the ceiling. This year that ceiling you set was $8,000 too low. There is a number sitting one line above the one you are using, and for 4 specific years of your life, you are allowed to reach it. Right now, at 61, is one of those years. The year you turn 64, it disappears, and it does not come back. Nobody sent you a letter about this. Your plan did not call you. The higher limit exists. It is written into federal law, and most of the people who qualify for it are contributing at the old amount without ever knowing the bigger one was theirs to take. I am talking about the super catch-up, and today I am going to show you exactly what the number is, which 4 years you can use it, why almost nobody is using it, and the one thing you need to check this week so that you are not one more person who found out about this window the year after it closed. Let me lay out the numbers plainly because the whole thing rests on 3 of them. In 2026, the base amount anyone can put into a 401k from their paycheck is $24,500. That is the standard limit at any age under 50. Once you turn 50, the IRS lets you add a catch-up contribution on top. For most people, that catch-up is $8,000. So, a 55-year-old, a 58-year-old, most people in their 60s, they can put in $24,500 plus $8,000. $32,500 total. Here's the part that changed. Starting this year, if you are 60, 61, 62, or 63, your catch-up is no longer $8,000. It is $11,250. That is $3,250 more than everyone else your age can contribute, every single one of those 4 years. Add it up. $24,500 base plus $11,250 in catch-up, $35,750 into your 401k in 1 year before your employer match adds a dime on top. This comes from a law called Secure 2.0, and the higher amount has a nickname. People call it the super catch-up. There is one wrinkle in it that changes the math for higher earners, and I will get to that because for some of you, it is the most important thing in this video. Now, why do I keep saying 4 years, and why does it matter so much when you use them? The higher catch-up is tied to your age and only these ages: 60, 61, 62, and 63. Not 59, not 64. The rule looks at how old you are during that calendar year, and it opens the window the year you reach 60 and closes it the year you reach 64. Picture it as a door that is open for exactly 4 years and then shuts on a birthday. The year you turn 64, your catch-up drops right back down to the $8,000 amount everyone else gets. The extra $3,250 a year is gone, and there is no making it up later. You cannot go back at 65 and claim the years you missed at 61 and 62. Each year the window is open is a year you either used or you did not. So the value of this is not just the size of the number, it is the deadline attached to it. If you are 59 right now, your job is to be ready the moment you turn 60. If you are already 62, you have this year and maybe one more at this level, and then the door closes. This is the rare piece of retirement planning where waiting until you get around to it is the same as saying no. So if the money is real and the law is on the books, why are so few people actually contributing at the higher amount? There are 3 reasons, and none of them is your fault. The first is that this provision is optional for your employer. The law allows the super catch-up. It does not force your company's plan to offer it. Each plan sponsor decides whether to turn the feature on. Many good plans have adopted it. Some have not gotten around to it yet. And your plan is not required to send you an announcement either way, which means the first job is simply finding out whether your plan even has the switch flipped. The second reason is that payroll systems default to the old number. If you set your contribution up years ago and told the system to max out, that instruction was written against the limit that existed then. The system does not automatically bump you to the higher catch-up the year you turn 60. It keeps doing what you told it to do. So you can be fully eligible in a plan that offers it and still be contributing $3,250 a year below your actual ceiling, purely because a setting from the past never updated itself. Third, and this is the quiet one, nobody's job is to tell you. Your plan administrator processes what comes in. Your accountant sees last year's numbers after the year is already over. There is no line on any statement that says you left the extra catch-up on the table. It happens in silence, and silence is exactly why a legal benefit built for you can sit unused for the entire 4 years you had it. Let me make the $3,250 feel like what it actually is, because said quickly it sounds small. Meet Susan. She is 60, she earns a comfortable salary, and her plan offers the super catch-up. She updates her elections, so she is putting in the full $11,250 catch-up instead of $8,000. That is $3,250 extra dollars going in pre-tax for each of the 4 years she is eligible. Over the window, that is $13,000 of additional contributions she would not otherwise have made. But contributions are only half the story. That money is invested, and it has years to grow before she touches it. $13,000 in extra contributions, compounding for the 15 or 20 years that money might sit before and during retirement, is not $13,000 at the finish line. Depending on returns, it can grow to 2-3 times that. To put a rough shape on it, $13,000 growing at a modest average return over 20 years can land somewhere in the 20s or low 30s of thousands by the time Susan is drawing on it. That is not a promise. Returns are never guaranteed. But the direction is the point. A few years of a slightly higher election, left alone to grow, quietly turns into real retirement income. And because it went in pre-tax, it also lowered her taxable income in each of those 4 years while she was likely still in her peak earning years. She got a deduction when it was worth the most to her. If her employer also matches a percentage of what she contributes, raising her own contribution can pull in more of that match too, which is money on top of money. None of it counted against the catch-up limit itself. Now here is Dan. Dan is 61, and Dan earns a high income, more than most. Dan is just as eligible for the $11,250, but for Dan, there is a condition attached that does not apply to Susan, and if he ignores it, his contribution can get kicked back or misclassified. That condition is the wrinkle I promised you, and it is next. Here is the rule that trips up higher earners, and you need to know which side of it you are on. Starting this year, if your wages from the employer running your 401k were more than $145,000 last year, your catch-up contributions can no longer go in pre-tax. They have to go into a Roth. Same $11,250 limit, same eligibility, but the money goes in after tax, into the Roth side of your 401k instead of reducing your taxable income today. That threshold is measured on your prior year wages from that specific employer, and it adjusts over time. For the 2026 rule, the number people are working from is based on whether your 2025 wages crossed that line. This came out of the same Secure 2.0 law. The final rules were issued last fall, and it took effect January 1st of this year. Now, is the Roth requirement a bad thing? For a lot of people, it is actually a gift wearing a warning label. You are putting money into an account that grows tax-free and comes out tax-free in retirement, which can be worth a great deal when you are managing your income in your 70s. But it changes your planning today because you do not get the upfront deduction on that catch-up. You want to know that going in, not discover it in April. The trap is only for the person who does not know the rule exists. If you are a higher earner, your plan tries to run your catch-up as pre-tax, and the plan is set up to enforce the Roth requirement. Your contribution can bounce or get reclassified in a way that creates a mess at tax time. Knowing the rule ahead of the paycheck is the entire difference between a smooth Roth contribution and a correction letter. So here is how you actually take this, step by step, whether you are Susan or Dan. Step 1. Find out if your plan offers the age 60 to 63 catch-up at all. Log into your 401k provider, look at the contribution or limits page, or call your HR benefits line and ask directly, does our plan offer the enhanced catch-up for ages 60 to 63? That one question tells you whether the door is even open where you work. Step 2. If it is offered, update your contribution election to the higher amount. Do not assume the system moved you up automatically because it almost certainly did not. You are looking to raise your catch-up to the $11,250 level for the year. If your pay is steady across the year, that often means adjusting the per paycheck percentage or dollar amount so the full amount goes in by December. Step 3. If your wages were above that $145,000 line last year, confirm your catch-up is set to go in as Roth, not pre-tax, so it does not get rejected. If you are below that line, you get to choose pre-tax or Roth based on what fits your tax picture. Step 4, and this is the one with the clock on it. Do this in the year you are actually eligible. If you are 62 now, the window is open now. If you are turning 64 this year, this may be your last year at the higher amount, so the election needs to be right before the year runs out. The paperwork takes minutes. Missing the year takes the whole opportunity. If you are 60 to 63 right now, or you love someone who is, and nobody had ever put this window in front of you, please like this video and subscribe. Somewhere out there is a 62-year-old about to let this year go by at the old limit with no idea the door is closing on money that was theirs to take. This channel exists so that person finds out in time instead of a year too late. Here is your one job this week. Before your next paycheck, open your 401k account online or pick up the phone to HR and ask the single question: is the age 60 to 63 catch-up turned on in our plan, and is my election set to use it? 5 minutes, one question. It tells you immediately whether you are capturing this or leaving it on the table. If it is on and your election is already using it, wonderful, you are one of the few, keep going. If it is not, you now know exactly what to fix, and you have the rest of the year to fix it. One last thing. Plans differ, and this is a place where the details matter. Whether your plan offers the feature, how your provider handles the Roth requirement, and how your own tax bracket should steer the pre-tax versus Roth choice are all specific to you. Confirm the specifics with your plan administrator. And for the tax side of a high-earner Roth decision, a short conversation with a tax professional before you set the election is worth far more than it costs. What I gave you today is the window and the deadline. Your plan and your paycheck tell you exactly how to walk through it.